Welcome. This is the wisdom of the Avadhut Gita. Ramana Maharshi was widely regarded to exemplify its teachings. Listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. Know yourself. This is Richard Clarke. Today I'll read from and comment on Chapter 3 of the Avadhut Gita, the concluding verses 17 and 18 on the infinite and eternal nature of the self, and I'll provide an inquiry for each verse to deepen your experience. Verse 17, the saying of the Shruti, not this, does not apply to Atman. How can it be said, when all is subtracted, Atman alone remains? It is symbolical, but it is not a symbol. Yet even this cannot be said of Atman. Space-like, the water of immortality am I. Verse 18, Maya is not my modification, nor is its glamour mine. Deceit and hypocrisy, truth and untruth have no place in me. Space-like, immortality-giving knowledge am I. Let's explore these verses from the Avadhut Gita in the context of Ramana Maharshi's teachings. Verse 17, the saying of the Shruti, not this, does not apply to Atman. How can it be said, when all is subtracted, Atman alone remains? It is symbolical, but it is not a symbol. Even this cannot be said of Atman. Space-like, the water of immortality am I. Line by line, the saying of the Shruti, not this, does not apply to Atman. In this line, the Avadhut says that negation, neti, not this, found in ancient scriptures, doesn't apply to the true self, Atman. This process of negation is a method used in spiritual inquiry to realize the essence of reality by negating what is not the ultimate truth, everything that changes from what does not. But the self can never be either negated or affirmed. It just is. How can it be said, when all is subtracted, Atman alone remains? The Avadhut questions the commonly held spiritual notion that after negating everything that is not the self, only the Atman remains. This verse challenges the simplicity of this understanding. It is symbolical, but it is not a symbol. Yet even this cannot be said of Atman. The Avadhut suggests that even though we may use symbols and metaphors to describe Atman, these symbols can never truly encapsulate the essence of Atman. We know the map is not the reality. In the same way, symbols and metaphors point to the true self, but they are not it. Don't mistake the finger pointed at the moon for the moon. Symbols are for the mind. Reality, the true self, is beyond the mind. It is that in which the mind operates. Reality is that which knows. Reality is that which exists. You exist as and in reality. Space like the water of immortality am I. In this line, the Avadhut uses metaphors to describe the self, comparing it to space and immortal water. Water is often used to symbolize purity, clarity, and the source of life. In this context, the water of immortality signifies the pristine and unchanging nature of the self. It is a poetic expression of the realization that the true self, Atman, is eternal and unchanging, just like the concept of Amrita, or the nectar of immortality in Hindu mythology. This emphasizes the infinite and eternal nature of the self. Inquiry: why does the Atman emphasize that Atman is not merely a symbol? Are you different from Atman? Verse 18, Maya is not my modification, nor is its glamour mine. Deceit and hypocrisy, truth and untruth have no place in me. Space-like, immortality-giving knowledge am I. Line by line, Maya is not my modification. The Avadhut declares that Maya, illusion or delusion, is not a creation or modification of the self, Atman. Maya is not the self. Maya has been described as like waves on the ocean. Do the waves change the ocean? The Avadhut says that the self is beyond the influence of Maya. Deceit and hypocrisy, truth and untruth have no place in me. The Avadhut states that the self is beyond the concepts of deceit, hypocrisy, truth, and untruth, suggesting that the self exists in a realm beyond moral and ethical distinctions. These distinctions are entirely from the mind. Who we are, our existence, is beyond the mind. It is that in which the mind seems to operate. Space-like, immortality-giving knowledge am I. The verse concludes with the Avadhut describing the self as space-like and the source of immortal knowledge. The Avadhut says that self-realization, the realized state of consciousness, is akin to the boundless expanse of state, and that it embodies the knowledge that bestows immortality. It is the knowledge that you are the unchanging existence and consciousness that bestows immortality. The immortality is the deep experiential knowledge that you do not come or go. You just are. The Avadhut emphasizes that the ultimate truth of your existence is not limited by the physical body, ego, or the confines of individuality. Instead, it is infinite, timeless, and transcendent reality. This emphasizes the boundless and eternal nature of self-knowledge. So inquire, what does it mean for the self to be described as space-like? Look within. Can you find an edge? Any boundaries? These verses from the Avadhut Gita emphasize the transcendental nature of the self, of Atman, and its inherent qualities of boundlessness and being beyond change. They challenge conventional spiritual concepts and encourage you to move beyond symbols and metaphors and to directly experience the true nature of the self. Ramana Maharshi teaches self-inquiry to do just that. The Avadhut Gita, through these verses, teaches that the self, the Atman, is beyond negation, beyond symbols, and beyond moral distinctions, emphasizing its infinite and immortal nature. So inquire, know yourself, and be always free and at peace. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this Ramana Maharshi video, subscribe, like, and send me a comment.